Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart, and this is a kit in 1/72 scale. So here we have the StuG 3 Ausf.G, and this time we get the March 1943 modification, still Alkett production, but in a small scale. It's quite nice vehicle. I recently published the build review, so you can check it as well, but today we are talking about the plastic kit itself. The new version. So here we have the commercial sample. It means that's the final shape of this kit, and as you can see, this set number 72105 is exactly the same stuff as what you'll get if you order it from any good model shop, for example from Model Mix. So first of all, box size is not that huge. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and we have this profile view of one of the marking options. Here we have some safety advices, and here on the opposite side you can see also 4 other marking options, as well as the note that decals are printed in cartograph. So this is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. All frames are packed into one plastic bag, so I will move them to the side. I will cut through the plastic bag, and gradually we will be checking each frame one by one. In the meantime, I can say a few words about overall experience with this kit. I would say it was quite nice, and it shows that Miniart was not just reducing the big kit, they were also trying to consider the, let's say, limitations of this small scale. And in few seconds I will show you what we are talking about here. So first let's start with the gray plastic. This is a sprue BA, and here we have various panels for the main hull. Maybe I'll open the lenses, and now you can see that we have this rear firewall. We also have some Pioneer tools here. What is cool is that the Pioneer tools are molded separately, so here designers decided not to skip on the features, and they are not pre-molded on the hull parts, as some of you recently asked. Even some brands make it in 1/48 scale, but here you get them as a separate parts, and this is really great because they look nice even in such a tiny size. Next, we continue with the sprue A. So as you can see, there are 2 of them, and I will show it closer a bit. So here we have the drivetrain parts. Note the drive sprockets attachment. We have the points right in between the teeth, so you have to be careful while separating those parts, but there are also guiding elements from the opposite side, so it should be easy to align them. And overall, molding quality looks nice. There are even some features on the tire walls of the road wheels, which is, I would say, somewhat crazy for a 1/72 scale kit. Okay, so let's move this one to the side. And we have the sprue CA. Here we have some parts for the storage boxes, as far as you can see, and it should be assembled out of separate panels, obviously. And if I flip it over here, you can check it from the opposite side as well. Okay, next we continue with the side skirts. This is a sprue DH, and let's zoom in. And here you can see that we have this side skirts pre-molded with some elements, but there are not that many things pre-molded. Here we have the shovel, but all other tools, as I say, they will be added separately. And here you can check them from the opposite side. They're not plain, and this is really cool because even in such small size, Miniart cares about such stuff, and they actually copy all of the things. Next is the sprue AH. Here we have the tracks, and well, tracks are supplied on 2 plastic sprues, and as you can see, these are separate track length. We have the links only for the drive sprocket area, and I would say my experience proved that they are quite nice to work with. The only thing is that you have to check the alignment, but I think it's the overall requirement for such things in whatever scale you will be building. Next, we continue with the rear engine panel, let's say. It should be assembled out of several panels, which you can see here, but overall it's quite a smart design, which is easy to combine together. Just follow the assembly manual. There were several moments without or for those side vents, but once you figure it out, it's quite fine. Okay. Next, we have the sprue DB. This one is dedicated to the lower hull section, and here you can see that it should be glued out of separate panels. We have the suspension arms pre-molded, so you get the right alignment out of the box, and I think it will be easy to work with those parts, so it's just a matter of assembling everything together. And what I'm checking, I'm not sure if it was broken or not, because I didn't see one of the arms. Okay, next we continue with the last gray plastic sprue. Here we have the parts for the superstructure, which should be assembled out of several panels. It's not a difficult progress, but I would say you have to pay attention how those parts fit together. And well, the smart design should help you with this. We also have the separate hatches, but there is no interior, as you remember, so there is nothing much to show inside. Next, we have also separate envelope with those P parts, so I will show them like this. As you can see, these are unpainted P parts, they look quite good, and from my experience they were easy to apply, because the metal itself is quite flexible, and I mean, just use DCA glue and you will be fine. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag with clear parts, which is also cool in the scale, because some brands just skip on it. But here we get the decals. Okay, so I'm just confused because I got 2 decal sheets, but obviously you need only one. So here it is. And as you remember, it is printed in cartograph, so the printing quality looks great, and maybe some others will be brave enough to replicate it with the masks, but it's already your decision. And I will zoom in a bit so that I can show you also this clear plastic sprue. So here we have the periscopes and also the visors for the superstructure, and again everything looks fine, but there are no masks, so in case you would like to have a nice paint finish, you have to source your own masks. Okay, next we continue with assembly manual. So here I will have to zoom out a bit, close the lenses. Okay, so for this assembly manual, as you can see, here we have a small cover printed brochure. We have 2 marking guides straight away, so you will be able to maybe pick one out of 2 here, or maybe you have to move further. And now again I'm a bit confused, because as you can see we have slight misalignment of the pages, so this page should be obviously on the last stage of the assembly, because here we have the installation of the towing cable. Nevertheless, next we continue with the parts map, the hull assembly, and then we have the various parts installed in the exhaust area. Here you can see the tracks assembly. And by the way, there are more track links than necessary, so pay attention to this as well. And here we continue with the superstructure, rear deck, and then the spare tracks installation. Here we start assembling the engine covers. We also assemble this box, which is only for the 3rd marking option. Here we have the machine gun, which is installed on the superstructure, and one more box, which is again for the marking option 3. And again we have the parts map, so that's why I'm a bit confused. And here we have 2 more marking options. I think those are different from what we saw before, but still it is quite funny that we have this small mishap here, and here is the 5th marking option here. So overall we have a quite nice small scale kit. It should be already available, and you can get it in my Dynamics, as I said before, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.